Hello, disc golf fans, and welcome to the final round of the 2017 Idlewild Open. I'm Jeremy Koling, and I'm joined by James Conrad and Paul Ulibarri. We got big, rad Uli commentary team today, and we have a very exciting final round. Beautiful weather we got for the final round, and a great gallery. It's going to set up for a really exciting finish. Hole 1 is a wonderful starting hole. I feel like it's a great way to just get your round started with a big rip. What do you think about this one, James?
I agree. It's a really fun starting hole. It's definitely attackable. You can see the basket right in front of you, a little over 600 feet, and you can definitely, with a smash, you can get all the way up there. In fact, there are 6 twos on this hole this weekend, so that's definitely saying something for a par 4.
Yeah, for 638 feet, it's a slightly downhill hole. I'd say maybe 30 feet in elevation change from tee to green, but it's certainly attackable with, and the conditions seem like there were a lot of tailwind predominantly on this hole.
Yeah, and the good thing about this hole is there's, a little danger, right? As you can see, the James kind of turns that over, and if you get through those trees, you'll probably have an upshot. The objective here is just not to go left. I feel like there's OB short kind of left, and then once you get past there, it's just heavily wooded.
Yeah, and it just, that's the way Idlewild is. Anytime you're in the brush at all, it doesn't matter what part of the course it is, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So the objective is get this one far, get yourself where you can get maybe a jump putt approach, and that way you can kind of avoid that slopey green, which kind of can give people trouble, and you can get past this green pretty fast.
We've seen Nate do this. He just kind of, throws a controlled shot right down the middle, and that's another way you can really play this hole, is not get too aggressive and make sure that you have a fairly easy approach into that green for birdie.
Right. And here we have Snappy Cole, who played a terrific 7-down round 2 to get on the lead card, and this guy's got a ton of power.
He sure does.
Yeah, he's one of the best players from the South in the woods. I said his best trait is being able to throw a drive hard through the woods with just as much confidence, which is something that's really difficult for most players, to commit to a line and throw 100% through a tight gap.
Yeah, we really saw him come on the scene last year at the Pro Tour finale, making I believe the semifinals and really showing up to play. So
I think, did he not make the finals? I think he made the finals.
Did he make the finals?
He did.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he made the finals last year. So he's no stranger to the Pro Tour in big situations.
Oh, look at this! Is absolutely perfect. Wow, that is circles 630 feet away from the tee pad. He threw it probably 630 feet. Yeah, we better get a FollowFlight here. This is beautiful. And look at that gallery that's come out to watch the last round out here in Kentucky.
And this is just McBeth doing what he does. He's notorious for putting pressure right away in final rounds and showing that he's coming for the title. So no surprise there. We'll see if Nate's game plan pays off here by just being consistent and throwing it right down the middle. And that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of touch on that. And
oh yeah. That's a great start there for our leader. And people ask what makes Paul so great, and I think one of the best attributes for Paul is that he doesn't throw it the furthest, and he's probably top 5 in the world in terms of distance, but he's the most accurate at that 450 to 600 foot range, and you just saw it right there. And Snappy has to lay out. And James, that's a pretty good approach there with that low ceiling coming up to the green.
I was very happy with it. I was fortunate to fight through those trees on the right a little bit, so I at least had a clean shot at it, unlike Snappy, who was pinned under the trees.
Yeah, he had to lay up there for his 4.
He kind of gives that a run, but it looks like he wanted just kind of a soft run there.
And this is for a huge 2. What a statement this would be.
Yeah, from just outside the circle.
Oh, Cash, that's
no doubt.
That's amazing. That is such a great way to start this round, and it's actually not even his first 2 on the hole, if I'm correct. I believe he threw it in from 80 feet for his second round?
I heard it was something like that. He had a solid drive round 2 and cashed it. I know I had put a great drive up there round 2, and I was hoping I might have been the only 2 on the day, but I was like, oh, of course Paul got it too.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. And there's a nice little 3 there from being a little bit out of position off there to the right, but capitalizing there with a nice approach and good putt.
Got some good scramble skills there from James.
Here's Nate Perkins with the infamous Star Wars jab putt that I called it yesterday. And he stabs it in there nicely, and that's a good start there for our leader.
See if James can clean up this little 15-footer. Should be no problem. And it's pretty breezy here, right, James? I mean...
Oh,
yeah, there's
goodness.
definitely a breeze coming, mostly down the fairway, so it's probably from his right.
Now, that's a new style of putting for James. That I haven't seen him putt flat inside the circle. He's traditionally, from my experience, been a hyzer putter, and looked like there was a little bit of nerves there. A little bit of wind, too, but, I mean, that's a difficult putt to start off there with a bogey. And hole 2, we got some stats for this hole?
Don't have too many stats on this one. It averaged just under par, averaged 3.89 on a par 4. I think that's a great average for a hole. It means it's a pretty fair hole. It's a lot of people are getting the birdies, but there's definitely some trouble to be had.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's too many par 4s in this course that average under par, and this is one of the few that does come out that way. And it's because it's fairly open off the tee. You really just have to avoid that tree that Paul just scooted by, and then from there it's just a technical 200-foot approach across the water to a slope green.
Right, this is one I'm definitely hoping to get all the rounds.
Mm-hmm.
It feels pretty easy in my mind. If you get a clean tee shot, there's really nothing keeping you from the birdie.
That's right.
Yeah, you just really want to avoid the left side. I know from one of the rounds I saw somebody go be left early. And so if you can just beat that middle tree and avoid left, you're going to set yourself up for a fairly easy upshot. And it's a very attackable green, too.
And there is a nice drive there from Nate. He's got such a great forehand. We're going to see him throw a bunch of those today on this course. Very lefty/righty forehand friendly course. And it'll be interesting to see, James Conrad and Snappy Cole attack this course, because between the two of you, I imagine we might see one, maybe half a sidearm today. I mean, on average, not many forehands from the two of you guys.
Yeah, not a lot from either of us. I think I only actually threw 3 on the weekend, and all those were just kind of little upshots.
Wow. And that's a great approach there from James. Just keeping it just above that little bush line that the water has a couple bushes there, and you just get it over that, let it fly up to the green, and that's a nice shot there from Paul.
I was half expecting Paul to throw that one in with his Nova. After eagling one, I was thinking, man, I bet he's just going to throw this in, get all these strokes back.
I mean, that's the Tiger effect that I feel like Paul has. Last round,
it really is.
you know that he's coming for it. He doesn't play for second place. And the thing is, when he plays aggressive, a lot of people can't get wild when they play aggressive. Paul plays more under control, and he ends up making some incredible things happen when he's going for it. And that will be a tap-in.
Yep.
That's a great approach there.
Thank you.
And there you go. Nice recovery putt there after missing the short one on hole 1.
Yeah, get a little confidence back is always nice.
And there you go. Another solid putt there from Nate Perkins.
Yeah, Nate's just... we keep talking about McBeth and Conrad, and Nate just keeps birdieing, and he's done that all weekend. Stuck to his game plan, and he's just, hitting fairways, making his putts, and I'm really impressed with how well he's played all weekend. Yeah,
this course seems to really suit his style of play, and he's played within his own game and had very few bogeys and a lot of birdies, and it shows with his score. I mean, this is one of the few courses where par actually doesn't feel that bad, and for him to be 10 under par is a testament to how well he's been playing all weekend.
Yeah, he's in the lead, and I don't know if he's relinquished the lead very few times all weekend.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah, he was telling me yesterday that up until about a ways into this third round, he had never lost the lead, and I was very impressed. It's not easy to do.
This is one of my favorite holes on the course.
Oh, me too.
It just sets up beautifully for any shot that you can throw down there. Sidearm, a beautiful flip up backhand like McBeth just demonstrated right there. And
you shot to an ace around there, but
it was a T-bird 3, I believe, and it was just on a line right for the basket the whole way. Really
So did
nice.
you go T-bird, or did you try to back off with a mid-range on
I was
this one?
throwing a shark all weekend on this hole, a shark 3.
Oh, wow.
Just playing a really slow hyzer.
And that was drifting towards the little OB wall. It's kind of hard to get OB. It's so thick. Looks like it got past that.
Yeah, I left it a little inside. If I'd left it a little wider to start, I think it would have gotten right up there in the circle, but it still got down there for a putt.
And Paul and I were talking about this yesterday. It's surprising to see Nate with such a clean forehand throw a backhand here, because I really feel like this hole sets up much better for a forehand flex shot than it does for the backhand. So you can avoid the trees by flexing from right to left, as opposed to the right-hand backhand, which goes from left to right.
And this sets up great for Snappy's game. Even though he catches that branch, it looked like it was on a pretty decent line. He throws a lot of flippy plastic, so
Yeah.
catches kind of a bad break, hits that branch. His scramble game was on point this weekend.
And look, we got a forehand, and not just a forehand. That thing was a tracking. Well, great shot there from Snappy. That was very smooth. Good touch there from him.
There's Nate just laying up, taking par.
Leaving a little meat on the bone, too. He's got to have, might be closer than I think, but still could be 20 feet away or so. And look at this!
Wow.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Nice, would say 55, 60 feet there. Pushing the backside of circle 2. Huge putt there. Really keeping things going there. Birdie, birdie, birdie start.
Yeah, I knew McBeth was going to knock that one down, so I definitely wanted to try to keep pace with him as well as I could. And I was happy to be able to knock down a big one early in the round.
Yeah, it's a nice statement to make. You know, shows everybody how confident you are, and leaving that chain high and knocking it down definitely shows everybody you're not going anywhere. So
That's right.
And a good par putt there from Nate. You know, I mean, he laid that second shot up and laid it up probably a little shorter than he wanted to, and sometimes that can be a little bit more stress than we want to deal with early in the round, and showed no problems or any lack of confidence there with that stroke. On to hole 4, which is I'd say one of the has to be the easiest par 4 in the course. I mean, do we have any stats here?
Yeah, it came in as actually the easiest hole in the course relative to par. It was tied with hole 11 at .56 under par, so this one averaged 3.44.
Oh, wow. Yes, I mean, it's basically a par 3. It's 504 feet, which is pretty reachable. I believe there were only 2 eagles all weekend on the hole, though, which is kind of surprising considering it's really right there for attacking.
It really is. I thought there might be a few more than that. Austin Turner and Drew Gibson got the only two twos on it the whole weekend, and those were both round 1, but I'm sure some other people had bids at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Drew is going out with a roller, whereas Austin is just a big lefty, and he can throw the hyzer over the water. But there's a nice little aggressive conservative, I guess you could say, shot where it leaves him maybe a chance to give it a slight bid there from Paul.
yeah, and the thing about this hole is also you can make it easy by playing for the birdie. But at the same time, it has teeth. It has the water on the left. There is a path on the right. And if you get too aggressive, I saw a few people go out of bounds for sure. So
Yeah.
it's not like this hole is the hardest hole by any means. But if you're playing for the eagle, and it's very enticing to do so,
Well,
it can bite you. So
as a matter of fact, Austin Turner, who deuced it first round, took an 8 on it the last round. Got aggressive, went for it a couple times, and he lost a couple discs in the process.
yeah, so it just shows you that the professionals at the tournament probably made a choice to just take birdie and get out of there.
Yeah, a lot of us did. I think on our card, me and Paul got pretty aggressive, and Paul's turned over a little bit, but then mine was pretty solid. And then Nate and Snappy both just took the conservative forehand pitch up. That leaves you a pretty routine upshot to get birdie.
I'll tell you what, there's not going to be much routine about that putt there. I mean, he's not that far away, but this basket being elevated, you can't say enough about what that can do to the mentality going into that putt. It's a little bit elevated, but then it's a downhill slope. So we'll have to, that'll be a little bit of a nerve tester there for Nate.
And that came out short, but I guarantee Paul was thinking, give this a bid.
A little bit of one, yeah.
What are you thinking here, James? Well, never mind.
I got within about 60. That wind was not favorable for the putt, and I was lined it up like I was thinking about going for it, and then I just decided to pitch it up under the basket and take my 3.
Wow, look at that. Nate just made it look so easy. I don't think enough can be said for. There's no lack of confidence in this putt right now. I mean, he's just stroking, and it's just really good to see because that putt's not that far, like I said, but it is a nerve tester.
And then again, he plays that hole pretty easy. Goes sidearm approach. You can tell that that's probably what he practiced. He didn't get too aggressive and takes an easy birdie. So he's still in control of his game.
Lifetime warranty, and 1% back to the planet. Tempercraft USA. Temper your thirst.
Okay, we're on to hole 5 now. And I heard after the tournament was over that there was actually a $100 bounty for a 2 on this hole. And it's pretty reasonable that somebody could get one. I mean, we've seen some rollers in the past from Chris Dickerson and Drew Gibson that were pretty far up there and put them within jump putt range. What was the average on this hole?
This one averaged right at par. It was 3.99, at least for round 3, and there were no 2s on it all weekend though. I'm sure some people gave it a few bids, like you were saying, but no one was able to capitalize on an eagle here.
And yeah, that's cool that they put up $100, but I would have probably paid $200 to get a 3 on it every round. So, this is a really difficult hole, and McBeth makes that look really easy.
And that didn't look like he was being too aggressive with trying to attack for a 2. He was just playing a good position shot, and the roller does set up well. And unless you have a really, really big forehand, or you can somehow trust the backhand anhyzer on this type of slope without rolling, like what you've done here, and it caught a pretty good tree there. I don't think it was going to be, but
it would have been close. I was definitely worried. I was hoping that would pan out a little better and get me on into the woods.
Yeah, but this hole, I mean, it doesn't look that difficult from the tee, but it seemed to play really difficult. And personally speaking, I went OB all 3 rounds off the tee here, which is not good. But the creek really comes into play unless you keep this tee shot pretty tight to the right.
It really does.
Snappy has a really good roller game. I'm surprised to see him go with the sidearm here.
Yeah.
But, that's a pretty conservative play to get up top like that and make sure he doesn't go OB.
And not a bad roll away, too. If you're too far right, you're kind of pinched. If you're too far left, you are definitely in a lot of trouble. That's kind of a good spot to be there, and he's actually elected to play the safe shot instead of attacking the green, which is pretty smart there from where he is.
That's a great play on this hole. Give yourself a long chance at birdie without really going in jeopardy of taking a bogey.
And great camera angle here to see Nate. Oh, almost gets past the last tree. He was definitely attacking the green there, I feel like. And he almost scooted all the way up there. But he'll have another long shot at birdie as well, which is, like you said, not a bad play at all. Oh, my goodness.
James.
I was trying to play the layup as well, and I was sure that one OB. I was over there just like, oh man, I can't believe I threw it OB on a layup. But I was fortunate enough to land right on the barrier and be maybe an inch or less inbounds.
Oh my goodness!
And what is that, about circle's edge?
Yeah, it's a little inside actually, maybe 28 feet. I'd kind of put myself in a weird mindset though, thinking it was OB, and I just wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. It was definitely fortunate, but.
And Nate almost uses the force to make that one go in from about 45.
Yeah, just sailed it. Like I said, I just kind of lost focus. I thought I was OB, just wasn't where I needed to be mentally on that putt.
Sure.
Yeah, it's crazy how that can happen so easily. We get our emotions and you think something and then you have a different result and then, your mind's somewhere else. But let's see if you can clean up this par putt at least.
if you see in the corner there,
Yeah, what's Paul doing?
McBeth's pointing up in the tree. He was looking at this tree, and it was like had these huge thorns he was looking at. Then he kind of glanced up and saw all these snake skins in the tree.
Oh my goodness.
And upon looking a little closer, there's heads of two snakes like sticking out of the tree, like looking down at us while we were putting.
Oh
it was
my
really
goodness.
crazy. So he was looking, he pulled Nate over to look up, then they brought me over to look up, and everyone in the gallery was like, what are all these guys looking at in the tree? It was really funny.
Wow. And all the while, you guys are just tapping in these putts like it's nothing.
Yeah, Paul just walks over there and just taps in. He's like, look at these snakes, though.
Okay.
I'm surprised he even looked at the basket, honestly. It's like... And that's good. Good group in there, all fours. And Nate's going to go check out what's going on over there, too.
I think Paul had the three
Oh.
there. Yeah, he had a jump putt onto the green, pretty much. Pretty
That's right, I
routine birdie
forgot about
for him.
that. Yeah, I actually made that look pretty easy.
Putting him 6 down through 5. He's just on a tear to start this round.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
And now you have all three of you guys within one stroke.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's
it's getting
probably
really close.
Yeah, the closest anybody is, or all three of you guys have been to the lead the whole tournament.
Yeah,
so.
it's kind of what we all expected. I mean, this course does set up for a really tight finish. It's really difficult for anyone to really break away from the field on a course that is so difficult. And now we're seeing that last round. We're a third of the way through the final round, and we got 3 players within the stroke. It's awesome.
I mean, Beth going with the turnover. I like this play. If you can turn it over enough, you're going to try to crash in those trees, and it looks like he probably peered it, honestly. If you get it low enough, you don't even have to worry about the trees and get right through there.
Yeah, it looked like he was just inside the circle there with a great shot. And
You throwing T-bird here, James?
No, I went for a roller today. I had kind of gone back and forth between the turnover air shot and the roller. I hadn't quite gotten it there with the air shot, and I did get a roller up during practice, so I tried that, but I didn't quite get it vertical enough landing, so it ended up about pin high, 70 feet left.
this hole played just over par at, I believe, at 3.11.
That's correct.
And so there weren't that many bogeys, not that many birdies. I know that one player birdied all 3 rounds. Isn't that right, Paul Ulibarri?
I did. I ended up getting this one all 3 rounds with the turnover, which was really
Nice.
fortunate. I mean, like you said, this is one of the harder par 3s on the course as far as getting a birdie.
Right. It's so difficult. And you do throw that roller shot, and James has done a great job there. You just look at that grass. I mean, that thing was moving, and it's even going downhill, and the disc is just stopping. So keeping the momentum of the disc rolling is just really difficult. And the air shot's definitely the play if you're trying to get there. But it's just so difficult to commit to keeping the disc turned over at that awkward angle that the tee pad.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Nate go high on that up shot with the sidearm. I figured we'd see him kind of crest the hill and go low so he didn't have to worry about the branches, and then ended up getting stuck behind this stuff.
Yeah, he did have a somewhat obstructed lie, which probably had something to do with it. He was pinned up on that tree in the fairway.
This is the earliest birdie we've seen, or earliest bogey we've seen Nate take. He's been playing the course pretty clean so far, so that's... Oh, yeah.
There's that hyzer putt you were talking about.
Kind of forced into it with that tree there, and he connects with it. He's thinking to himself, man, it's nice to go back to the old putting style.
I don't think anyone doubted Paul was going to make that one. He's just on fire right now.
Goodness gracious. He is 7 down through 6 holes. 7 down through 6 holes. That's a pretty amazing statement he's making right now.
Absolutely. I was 4 down through 6, and he had already wiped away the three-stroke lead I had over him. He tied it up right there with me.
That's crazy to think. You're 4 down through 6 holes. That's a great start in this course.
That's a very solid start. Yeah, I was happy.
And you had 3 strokes on him, and now you guys are tied at 12 under. And Nate's now having to make a little bit of having to play catch up. And that's not an easy thing to do on this course, especially when Paul is showing that he is out here for blood today.
Right.
And we have a very interesting hole here. This is a tricky shot. The tee shot, you don't have to throw it that far. You just have to be very technical, very precise. And if you get out of position here, if you go be off the tee and you have to go to that drop zone, and if you get stuck in the woods, this can become a tough hole.
Yeah, I saw this play from a few players. Just going over the top, you could really get aggressive and really push the fairway, but you could also, hit trees, and it's kind of random where your shot's going to be. Looks like he gets a good kick and just falls to the left of the fairway.
Yeah.
He's going to have something from there, though.
Absolutely. It worked out pretty well for him. I think for both himself and I, the play with that is you're just taking the OB out of question. You're taking that first gap out of the question. Worst case scenario, you get up there, trickle down in the rough, and you can kind of pitch out and get up and down for par, which this hole average .4 over par, so getting a par on this hole is you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, it looks like Snappy's kind of got a nice little rhythm going finally, especially after bogey on one. He throws a really nice tee shot. That's extremely hard backhand.
That is way up there, but you are kind of, oh my gosh, you're probably inside circle 3.
Yeah, I wasn't far from circle 2. I don't know how it got that clean, but I was happy with that.
Somebody had told me that they had practiced with you, James, and you'd gone through the right gap, and you put it inside 50, 60 feet.
I didn't get any that close on the right gap, but that was definitely my best shot all week.
Okay. Well, legends tend to grow over time, but that shot right there was pretty incredible, and Snappy is forced to go with the forehand. Maybe I was wrong about him. Maybe he does like to throw the forehand more than I give him credit for.
He's thrown a good handful of them already this round.
And Paul's kind of forced into this awkward angle, but he makes it look very routine.
Yeah, I've always said it. He probably has the most underrated sidearm on tour.
Thank you for quoting my line that I used 8 years ago. Just kidding. And that's a great shot there, James, avoiding the low. Oh, that was Nate?
Yeah, Nate's second had kicked to right there. He had a great looking line on it, and then it kicked down to right by where my drive was.
Well, I'd say that's a pretty easy way to get your 3 there.
Yeah, it worked out well for me.
That is so far up there. Oh! Did not see that coming.
Did that spit out, or was it just right?
I think it was a little left side.
Left
like
side.
the Anheuser putt catches.
Okay.
It's so hard to catch those, but
that was
a
pretty
great
fast.
bid.
Oh, heartbreaker. That was such an incredibly quality bid there. Just fell out. I mean, you can't hang your head at all with a par on this hole, but it's just a bummer to see it come so close and just fall out. Great effort there from Snappy.
But good birdies from James and Paul there, and some nice cleanups from the rest of the card.
And they're kind of separating themselves from the pack now. They're 3 ahead of third place. And, that's, like I said, it's really difficult to make up strokes. I mean, you can lose strokes, but to make up strokes, you have to play phenomenal.
And this hole has to be probably the hardest hole as far as par. Maybe 17 might have got it, but this hole's so difficult.
Yeah, this one played pretty dang close to a par 5. The average for round 3 was 4.99, so right at 5. If you get a 5 on this hole, you did not do anything wrong at all.
Yeah.
It's very tough.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I think it plays like a par 5 is you have this really difficult shot here, but then you have a tree right in the middle of the fairway, you see. And so once you pure the drive, you still have to find a way to get up there and with a tree in the middle.
Right.
And then you have an incredibly tight pinch up by the green that you have to navigate to. And that's, for a backhand shot right there, James, that is about as good as you can throw it.
Yeah, that was my best drive on that hole for the weekend. I was happy to finally put myself in a decent position to advance up the hole from there.
Yeah, and if you're in any trouble off the tee, I mean, 5 is a great score. I mean,
yeah.
And that's why it feels like it plays like a par 5, even though it's still under 600 feet.
There couldn't have been too many birdies on this hole.
There was actually only 6 birdies all weekend between the 3 rounds. Logan Bowers got the only birdie of the day on round 3, and between the first 2 days, 5 other people picked it up. I know Nate Perkins was one of them. I think he actually threw it in on round 1.
Oh, wow. Is that kind of round 1 for Nate, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And you see Snappy, actually, he has a really good drive, just places it in the middle, probably with a putter or something, and then he's playing position golf, just pitches it up to the top of the hill, playing it for par.
He absolutely is. It was a smart golf on his move and on Nate's move as well. That was just kind of a position second shot.
I mean, he wasn't that far off the fairway. I mean, I would say edge of the fairway, and he had to go down to a knee and stretch out and give himself a look for par. And that's really how you play this hole. If you draw it up, that's how you do it. You put it up in the middle of the fairway, you put it up there again, give yourself a long jump putt approach and take your 4 and walk away.
And Paul's going for this. He was in a great spot right there, just looking right at the mouth, but
He was, but that one tree Jerm was talking about a minute ago really made his angle tough. He had to try to like push it straight and then get a little turn and then fade back. Like it would have been a very difficult shot, but it wouldn't have surprised me if he executed it.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's well done there from Nate. And Paul he's thrown the first shot not perfect all round so far. We're on hole 8. So we're going to have to see if Paul's scramble game's on point today, but something's telling me that he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, even though he missed that second shot, he still got up there pretty well. He's probably only 80 feet out from the basket.
Yeah, and that looked like that was even, I don't know if that was an intentional run, but he didn't come up short.
Everything he does makes it look like he's going for it.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, and especially like you said, when he's, wow, that was really close. But yeah, that's that last round attack that he has. It's just like, he's going for everything. And a great putt there. It looked like he kind of resorted back to the hyzer putt a little bit. That was not the same stroke that he had on hole 1 and hole 2.
Yeah, I'm thinking part of it might be the straddle effect. He was in between those two trees. And,
okay.
The jump putt that he made on the previous hole was also straddle, so that might have something to do with it. But once you find something, you got to stick with it. And
right.
There's Paul just cleaning up.
And
now he's 8 down through 8 with a par. So not bad start.
And that par is a good par. I think our whole card scored this hole, which is remarkable. I mean, it averaged 5, so we pretty much all birdied, whether the scorecard says so or not.
Right. No, I feel like that definitely. You walk away from this hole with a 4. There's no bad feelings whatsoever.
Right, it's not really leaving a stroke out there hardly.
No. So we're coming to the final hole in the front 9, and we have this technical par 3 here with a very slopey green, and we're going to see probably a couple backhand turnovers and maybe even a forehand here.
This hole actually averaged right at even par for the day, average of 3, which I found pretty interesting. Another interesting fact, Snappy aced this hole round 1. I actually gave it a really good bid on round 2. I hit a lot of chains on my tee shot, so both of us were thinking about having a really good shot here.
I'm surprised to see Paul going mid-range on this hole. This is definitely, I think, his Nova shot or something like that, something a little softer. So you can tell so maybe last round just trying to be a little more aggressive, like we were saying. I know you're probably throwing AVR here.
Yeah, JK AVR. Just pulled it inside of the gap. Kicked pretty far forward, but really far left as well. Not a great position to be on. Par 3.
And the door's open. Our 2 leaders have kicked into the woods, and there's really no telling what kind of lies you guys have. And I wonder if Nate's realizing that and licking his chops right now because the door is open to catch up a little bit here.
Snappy throws a great tee shot right there. Probably circles the edge or just inside.
Yeah, right through the center of the gap.
And I don't know what happened there, but that looked like a misrelease. Maybe he slipped a little bit with his front foot, but that door just came shut right there.
That did not look very easy, and he's probably pretty happy with the result being circle's edge from wherever he was.
Yeah, it looked like a tight gap. It was.
Yeah, and it looked like he also caught the low ceiling of that pine up there, and that definitely helped him from going further.
I was kind of desperate at that point. I didn't even really have a good pitch out back to the fairway. I saw a little gap up there, and I knew that was near the basket, so I went for it. I figured if I pitched out, at best case, I'd get a 4, and if I went that way, best case, maybe a 3, probably worst case, 4. But it left me maybe 70 feet from the bucket, off in the thorn bushes.
Oh my God!
I couldn't believe that one went in. It was.
Oh my gosh,
James! A miraculous shot.
Wow, and this is.
Oh my goodness! I was like, whoa! With the sun behind your hair. Can we get a double SloMez? I want to watch that again. Okay, that's just insanely routine for him. But that is such a hard putt. But
now you guys are just kind of going back and forth, shot for shot at this point. This is where,
that is so fun.
That's got to be fun, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And James, the solid birdie there, connects, and he's going back and forth with putting styles, but he's getting it in the basket, so it doesn't really matter. And this is a tricky par putt here for Nate. Oh, and that looks like it was pretty solid right side, but just a bit too far right. He splashed out, and that's got to be tough after watching both of you guys spray your tee shots just a bit off left and right, looking like you guys were both in position to get bogeys. Door was open. He missed it, missed his approach into the putt, and now he's 4 back going into the back 9. So it's setting up for an amazing finish between Paul and James, and some incredible play to be had here on the back 9. Very difficult back 9. Be sure to come back and join us for the conclusion of the last round of the 2017 Idlewild Open. Thanks to Jomez, thanks to Innova Champion, and thanks to the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We'll see you guys next time.